What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Kicks of the Trade, where we are bridging the gap between your casual sneaker fans and avid sneaker enthusiasts. Welcome back. I'm Kelsey Cristiano, and I am joined by Chris Holloway. As always, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
You already know what it is.
I
Sensational.
know what it is. I'm not even going to ask you anymore.
Oh,
It's
you
just...
should ask me every time. Because the one time I don't say it, people will be like, is he okay? And then I'm getting comments like, he's not doing sensational.
They're gonna be like, why is Chris not sensational today?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're sensational. I am also sensational. We had a nice...
How are you doing? I don't ever ask you.
I know. What the hell?
I'm sorry.
God, that's like kind of rude of you.
We're like, what, 6 episodes in and I've never asked how you were doing?
Yeah, I know. It was kind of like starting to bother me actually. So I think that's why I ask you that every time, because I'm wondering when you're going to actually ask it back to me.
I'm sorry. All our fans out there, I'm sorry. I've never asked her. I will edit it where I ask her the question every episode.
No, you can't do that. Too late for that.
Do that.
Well, since you're wondering, I am doing great. Had a nice long weekend. Saw some cool sneakers out. I was actually in Arizona, so I saw a lot of nice kicks on people's feet.
Okay, nice. Did any stand out to you in particular?
Any in particular? I saw some guy wearing the Grateful Dead dunks.
Okay, which one? What's color?
The yellow ones.
Okay.
Kind of the furry ones.
I know which one. I'm just asking what's color.
Yeah. So they look pretty cool. He's wearing a Lakers jersey, and I was like, all right, I like your outfit here, but don't like the Lakers.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to
yeah, so those stood out. Lots of Vans. I mean, definitely lots of Vans, lots of Jordans, obviously. So
good.
Saw some heat though.
Awesome. It's always good to see heat. I like to see people wearing their heat out. Like,
oh yeah.
Don't have shoes to keep in the closet.
I had to wear them out. I busted out those Vans that I got, the
Bodegas
collabs.
Pictures?
Yeah, I loved them. Yes, we will be featuring some photos pretty soon because they were that's a good shoe. I really like that shoe. So, but today's episode is all about Adidas. So
today's focus, we will not be mentioning a company starting with the letter N. And by letter N, I mean Nike. So you will not hear any Nike talk today.
Okay, starting now. So yeah, let's get into today's episode.
Yeah, let's get into it. So my first question concerning Adidas, is it Adidas or Adidas? I've heard it many different types of ways. So I'm just wondering, how do you pronounce it, Adidas or Adidas?
Yeah, it's like tomato, right?
Yeah.
Adidas. I have always called it Adidas. It's always been, I always remembered how to spell it too, because like from my soccer days, we always remembered it all day. I dream about soccer.
Okay.
I think there's some other versions.
Yeah, there's the other versions by Killer Mike. If you don't know, he has an Adidas song. You should check it out. But he's not talking about soccer.
To him?
He's not talking about soccer in the last S. I'll just leave it.
Okay. We'll leave it up to the imagination for that. But no, actually, I started hearing, my boss is British and he would always say Adidas. And I was like, you're so weird. Like that. No, it's Adidas. But actually, technically, he's right. It's supposed to be pronounced Adidas. It's a German company. The founder of Adidas is he's German. His name is Adolf Dassler, and the name is actually a blending of his first name and his last name. So Adi Das, because he went by Adi. So that's the technical pronunciation of it. I know there's a lot of different versions though that people say, but yeah, he's actually, fun fact, brothers with the founder of Puma, and they kind of had a little bit of a falling out, and that's really how Puma was established and Adidas came onto the scene. I'll probably still call it Adidas. It just like sounds like more natural to me. I don't know if that's wrong or not.
Yeah, because from what I've known, like Europeans call it, or everybody outside the United States calls it Adidas, and people in the US call it Adidas. So I mean, it's just where your dialect from. But I think the correct pronunciation, I struggle with that simple word, but the correct pronunciation is Adidas. But
Yep.
we're gonna call it Adidas today. So sorry everybody.
Just rolls off the tongue a little easier for us, I suppose.
Right.
But yeah, let's talk about how Adidas really shaped sneaker culture and how it's influenced sneaker culture.
Yeah.
Company was originated in the 40s, one of the first footwear companies really,
On the market.
out and about on the market. Yeah, started really big with track and field.
Yeah, so Adidas had very humble beginnings. They were out before the other brands, like we said earlier. I almost said that other brand, but they were out before other brands, and they had a really strong hold in the racing and the track and field community, and then kind of merged over and really showed a strong dominance in soccer. I think they still have the best soccer cleat. If you were to ask any pure soccer player, what's the best in terms of
football?
playing? Or football, yes. Not American football. Football. They would tell you that Adidas makes the best cleats. So they really had a rise in sneakers in terms of athletic sneakers in those two realms. And then there's just kind of gradually just migrated over to what every sneaker company is going to these days, or at that time in like the early 80s, late 70s, is the streetwear and the urban culture.
Hip hop, rap.
Yeah, you saw them. So anybody who's a little bit older to the show or familiar with Run DMC, I feel like it really helped Adidas take that next step in terms of like urban popularity. With the song My Adidas, they had the track suits with the gold chains, Adidas track suits with the gold chains, and then the Adidas Superstars with no laces, which was like that was the look back then with the Kango hat. Yep. So I think they really put Adidas where they needed to be at that time to compete with other companies.
For sure. Yeah. And that's what the first shoe that comes to mind when I think of Adidas is the Adidas Superstar. In our first episode, that was like one of the first shoes that I remember, in middle school. I was like, I got to have this shoe. Like it was just a cool shoe at the time. I don't have it anymore. I don't know if I'd really wear it or not anymore, but tear. But that was kind of like the first shoe on the scene for me, at least. And I think what, a lot of people think of when they think of Adidas.
Right.
And that, the no shoelace look, which is pretty cool. Like within their footwear now, they're kind of, we've talked about it before, like that no lace look is pretty hot right now. And they've still, they're doing that with some of their current shoes now today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I would say the first shoe, so I guess to answer or piggyback on the comment that you made, I'll say what the first shoe that comes to my mind when I think of Adidas is actually the Stan Smith. So I think the Stan Smith Adidas, and then the Rod Laver. I could be pronouncing that wrong. I'll correct it later. But that was a tennis sneaker, and then the Stan Smith was like that real casual sneaker. To me, that really had that nice crossover from athletic to casual, but still kept that like really classy feel and that classy look. That's another area that Adidas did really well, was in the tennis realm too.
Yeah.
But that's the first shoe that I think of as the Stan Smith.
Such a classic. Like I like that shoe.
It's still an iconic silhouette. I think
it with so much too.
Yeah, and then now they're doing it. They're like giving it modern updates with like the Ultra Boost technology in it, the 4D technology. So the Ultra Boost technology, if people don't know, is like that spongy material at the bottom of the shoe. Kind of looks like a styrofoam a little bit. So if you've seen Adidas and it kind of looks like styrofoam at the bottom, that's the Ultra Boost technology, and it gives it that comfort. And then the 4D technology is a technology where it's like these green brackets at the bottom that's like kind of look like they're like what's the thing? 3D printed. So it's like a 3D printed, but they call it 4D printed. So it's a 4D printed sole.
And doesn't Adidas, they use like recyclable goods or something like it's like
I
all
think,
natural, like from the
yeah,
ocean.
they do have that sustainability project where they like,
All the aspects
rec-
of it.
yeah, where they recycle old bottles and make them into new. But I want to kind of go back to their influence in terms of like the streetwear and the hip hop and how it's
Mhm.
just it kind of carried on throughout the migration of hip hop, even to today, where we're seeing guys like we mentioned earlier, we talked about Kanye. He's having a huge impact with Adidas. You can't rank like right now, you can't mention Adidas without being synonymous with Kanye West. So that's the first thing you think of. I think anybody nowadays thinks Kanye, thinks Yeezy, and he's done his thing. I give him a lot of credit. I'm not the biggest Yeezy fan or even Adidas fan, but I will say as of late, I've been a monster of trying to get Adidas because he's coming out with stuff that's like fashionably on point with what I'm trying to do, like with the neutral colors and just the bold designs. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Okay, so are you more of a Adidas guy? Well, how many Adidas shoes do you have versus how many Nikes you have?
It's not even close. It's not even close. I would say for every one Adidas I have, it's maybe like 25 Nikes. It's like
Which is
it's
probably pretty similar to like what the market share is
yeah,
actually Adidas to Nike
yeah.
today in
Well,
terms of
it's just
revenue.
the thing is like for me, and this is where I think Adidas drops the ball for me personally, and you can ask other people that they may have different answers. Uh, Sizing. It goes back to when I talked about in our women's episode. If you haven't, go check it out. Women's episode. But
So five.
but the sizing discrepancy for me is like they don't go up to the bigger sizes in the fire stuff that they make all the time, or like the sizing is way off. Like I think that's across the board for Adidas. Like for me with the Cop and Yeezys, I always have to go up to a 16.
Yeah.
When I buy other brands, I can wear a 15 still. So it's like it's very frustrating, especially when we talked about when you buy these shoes, you can't really try them on. So then I'm like getting a 15 and it's too small. Now I'm disappointed and I can't do anything with it at that point. And then their releases are a little bit weird to me. So it's better now than what it used to be. But I think Adidas has a lot of ways to go to get to a company that's above them. I'm not gonna mention their name, but I think they have a lot of things they need to do, and we'll talk about that later in the episode. What I think they can do, but some of the other people, I think I'm gonna stay away from Kanye just for a little bit, and I also want to give credit to other people with Adidas who are making some good like headlines. Pharrell,
Yes.
Pharrell, all his shoes have been fired. The human races, he's been killing it with the colorways, killing it
Is
with the
it
designs.
they're the NMDs? Is it just hue? Like is that the term for them?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the HU is like human race. That's like he has like a element, like a periodic table element for his shoes. But yeah, so it's like an NMD. Yes. So exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, I like those because he's got those orange ones coming out soon.
yeah. I'm getting those House of Trade NMDs. I mean those human races. But then he comes out like he had a collaboration with Adidas and like Chanel. Like you've never seen that. Like, and if you do yourself any favors, Google human race times Chanel. That's probably one of the most fire shoes I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a
I think
dope,
I've missed that one.
it's a dope collaboration. It was like insanely exclusive, like even more exclusive than like a Dior other company. So yeah, it was
Oh, I remember these. Yeah, they're if you Google them, yeah, they're like they say Chanel on the front, Pharrell on the other shoe, black and white. Yeah, those are nice.
so it's just a classic look and it's so fire. So do yourself justice, go Google that. If we can, we'll make it appear or we might feature it if I can find somebody ever in that shoe, which
That has it.
I've never seen it on that shoe.
I think one thing that I've noticed if you compare the Adidas to the other one,
Other companies.
um, Adidas tends to do more partnerships with like artists and more like celebrity influencers, whereas Nike's kind of more like sports
Driven.
athletes, sports driven. In terms of like Adidas, I think has done a pretty good job of like kind of marketing that cool type of collaboration, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's just maybe what I've noticed a little bit throughout their
Um,
collaboration.
I think I would have to agree with you on that
Like
because
got like some like Korean artists that they work with.
they try to leverage the lifestyle more than the athletic because from my perspective and why they do it is because they're kind of somewhat behind in terms of athletics. So they can't really catch up. Like the other company has Jordan, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. So in the basketball realm, they're already behind. So like, and they're the ones who really sell sneakers. So they're like, hey, well, let's really drive it in another way. So like they get a Kanye West, they stole, well not stole, they got Jerry Lorenzo from Nike. So if you guys don't know who Jerry Lorenzo is, Jerry Lorenzo is the guy who makes Fear of God. If you go in Pakistan, he also makes the essentials of Fear of God. He was a designer for Nike and went over to Adidas, and he's heading the basketball department now. So that's going to be a good look for Adidas, and that's something else I want to talk about in a little bit later. But then also they bring in a Beyonce, give her own line, Ivy Park. They put Ivy Park on Adidas, that takes off. So they're not afraid to leverage like musicians, like you said, lifestyle, and they're the first sneaker company that I've heard of signing a gamer to a or a sponsorship deal with the athletic company. So they have Ninja. So if you're not, my son plays Fortnite. Shout out to Cam. Cam, I know you're on the Fortnite. Keep practicing. But
I'm glad that you said that too, because I was like looking at all the list of like celebrities and artists that work with Adidas, and I was like, who is Ninja? Like, what is this cartoon?
yeah,
Oh,
he's
he's a
a gamer.
gamer.
Yeah, he's a gamer. And then they're also not afraid. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's known for like being really good at Fortnite. So Cam's the reason why I know about Ninja. So like, if it wasn't for Cam, I would have no knowledge of Ninja. So
shout out to
my son
keeping us young.
for schooling me on some gamer information.
Oh my God. Well, it's interesting that you say that too, though, because that wasn't always the case with like Nike and Adidas. Adidas was like always they were the first one on the scene in the basketball scene, at least. And then, Jordan came around and I think really flipped that. And that was a huge turning point for Nike and where they are today.
The other brand. I think in basketball, I think they're struggling to me. And here's why, is they don't make a shoe that's great for both. Like, how you say get a girl who could do both or get somebody who could do both. They don't have a shoe to me that does both. Like a Jordan, you can wear on and off the court. There's no Adidas that I've seen that does that except for the Superstar. The Superstar was the only shoe that did both. I don't think they make a good shoe that looks good with like jeans or like very casual. It looks like a basketball shoe, looks like you're about to play basketball in it. But I do think that they do a good job in terms of like lifestyle clothing. Like they make great clothes, Adidas.
Yeah.
But the thing is like the sizing is not consistent across the board. So if I got an XL in one thing, an XL in another thing, and an XL in like 4 or 5 other things, they all fit differently. Whereas if I get an XL in another brand, it all fits the same, like Under Armour or Reebok, they all fit the same. I think Adidas stuff doesn't fit the same. And I think part of it contributes to the European cut or the European fit of things.
Yeah. I was going to say, I wonder really why that is the case.
Yeah, because that's what they're based off of. And also, when you bring in these different designers, these designers may make it either for like a European style like design or like more of an American type of style design or maybe an Asian type style design. So then the fitting is as such. So we're not getting consistency in the fittings. But I think the clothes are fire. For having 3 stripes on it, it's fire. And then like one of the iconic moments, I can't remember who it was wearing like, I think it was Pam Anderson. One of them was wearing like an Adidas dress in a wrestling ring. Like we've never seen that,
Yeah, Adidas has always done good, in my opinion, of more of the clothing aspect. Like I feel like even still, when you go to look at some, you go to the store and you look at some other brands versus Adidas has always had like that kind of cool aspect, like even like the old school logo of the Adidas. Like I think that's a desirable logo still to wear, like on a sweatshirt, on a tank top, workout clothes. Like I think they're still doing a good job of that.
Yeah, I think so. But I would rather have the other brand personally because I just have more of their shoes.
Okay. Here's a question I have for you. Would you ever rock a pair of Yeezys with some a Nike shirt?
No, I don't cross brand. I don't play that. But
Like, doesn't it just feel wrong? Like you're like, I cannot do this. This is not right.
Young kids. So this is a young kid thing. So like I'm gonna call y'all out. So this is a young kid thing. I'll see them wear Adidas track pants with Jordans. Like that's when I grew up, that was like a new kid. Like you're getting clowned. That's like a no. That was like a hard no. You would never cross brand. Like I won't wear. I'll see somebody like wear Under Armour, Adidas, Nike, and then Reebok hat. Like I would like literally want to vomit when I see it. Not
Like, that would be the same thing as wearing like once like a Nuggets like jersey and a Lakers snapback.
Yeah, like that. That's exactly.
Like, I mean, that's really bad because it's the same sport, but I feel like you see it with like or like someone that's wearing like the wrong like baseball jersey at a game. You're just like, you're not even at that game.
Right. Like to me, just keep it simple. Like don't cross brand. Like when especially with Adidas, but Adidas, people do it with Adidas. You know, they do. I think they feel more comfortable because the track pants, they fit nice, they look nice, but it's like, man, but these Jordans hit right with them, so they do it. But that's a young boy, that's a young kid thing to me.
Well, you're probably I have like because I love like the biker short look with some sneakers, but like my favorite biker shorts are Nike, and I like cannot wear them with my Yeezys. I just feel so wrong. So I went and purchased a different pair of biker shorts.
I will say this though, I have like I Adidas has definitely kind of shifted my mind. I used to be like 90-10, but now it's like more like 75-25 because like Sean Weatherspoon came out with that collab. They got Sean Weatherspoon from the other company and he came out with a shoe. I thought it was fire. The resale says it's not that hot, but like I said, I don't get hung up on what other people say in terms of like sneakers, but I think Sean Weatherspoon's Super Earths are fire. I think the Yeezy 700 in some colors, I think is fire. It's an alien looking shoe. So like Kanye's mind is in the future. So just think about that. It's like like if Fifth Element had a basketball shoe, like the movie Fifth Element, it came out with a basketball shoe. That to me, that's a Yeezy 700. Or like Alien versus Predator, like that shoe is like, okay, this is an athletic. I'm gonna go kill alien shoe. You know,
I'm gonna go kill an alien shoe.
And then like the three, and then the Yeezy 350s to me are like the everyday. I want to be a sneakerhead, but like I don't want to be heavily invested into it. That's to me
so easy to wear. Like they go with everything. I feel like
so many colors, like brown, brown, brownness of the brown browns.
Neutral, more neutrals.
Yeah, so I mean,
which is probably why I gear towards those. What's your favorite Yeezy colorway?
Man,
other than brown.
Brown. I don't honestly, so you know what? I'm gonna give full disclosure. I don't know the names of all the colors ways like that, but I will say one of the Yeezys that my favorite Yeezy is the Turtle Dove 350s. I mean, those are just too hard. They go crazy. Those are the first ones though, but I think they're still dope. And then the Belugas, they have some Belugas. They're like a gray red. I like those. Those are 350s. But like overall, they have this light purple 500 that I think is like a dope color too.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I really like those zebra ones are good. But what is the new? I can't even think of the name of the shoe either. But I did see it the other day in person. What are these? They do look like alien shoes, but I kind of like them, like the futuristic type look. I'm blanking on the name of them because they're a little more difficult, I feel like, to recognize necessarily or have them ingrained in your brain like we do Jordan.
Yeah, I don't though, because the colors are too like it's like desert sage. I do have the desert sage 350s, and those are fire though.
The 380s is what I'm talking about.
The 380s are the aliens.
Yeah.
The first colorway I think is called the alien. But they're fire to me. I like those. I always like the first colorway. And then I would say the Wave Runners.
Yeah.
I love the Wave Runners. Like, that was when that dad shoe phase was huge.
Yeah.
So Wave Runners kind of hit mark for me.
Yeah. Do you think that Yeezy has reshaped Adidas in a way, and as it relates to sneaker culture, do you think that this is that working with Yeezy or Kanye West has, transformed Adidas as a sneaker giant?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's giving them relevant. Look, let me not say Adidas is not relevant. I'm not going to say that, but I definitely think it's taking them to another stratosphere because you're seeing everyone
On
wear.
par with Kanye West.
Everybody's wearing Yeezys. Like I'll go to the grocery store and I'll see like a mom with like a suburban mom with like 3 kids walking around in Yeezys. Like I really see that with Jordans. Um,
Yeah.
I'll go to the gas station and see the guy pumping the gas. Like one of the attendants who worked there, he'd be wearing Yeezys. Like I'll see a bus driver wearing Yeezys. Like everybody has Yeezys. So yes, I do think he's done that. I think he's kind of taken some percentages away from the other brand, but I don't think they'll ever catch them. But he's definitely thrown a wrench in the system enough. And he's been more bold and daring with the new looks and designs. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not afraid to start a new silhouette and do something that may not be of this planet in our mind, but you see people on Earth rocking them. So I think to answer your question, yes, he is doing something right.
Yeah. I feel this when I look at some Yeezys as they come out, like I think a lot of them have had this reaction for me. I first see them, I'm like, I don't know if I really like that. Like I'm not sure if I like that look, but then they just grow on you. And like, I mean, my Yeezys are some of my favorite shoes. Just they're so comfy. But like even the other silhouettes that he came out with, I'm like, my first opinion, I'm just like, like I don't know about this. Like the Wave Runners, not. But then you see them more often, you're kind of like, okay, those kind of hit.
Yeah, like I think Kanye's the king of that. He's
Yeah.
the one who's like, I will grow on you like a fungus until you appreciate me. Because look, like I'll give you an example of him in Evelyn Realms. 808, 808s and Heartbreaks. I
Mm-hmm.
hated that album when it first came out. But as I listened to it, I'm like, yo, this is like he was ahead of his time. Like that album's fire. And then with the Yeezys, I'm like, these are like whack, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, they're kind of all right. And
Yeah.
then with the foam runners, I'm like, I don't want that weird looking croc. And then I'm like, nah, these are fire. And then with the 450, so if you don't know the 450, I call those everybody calls them the dumplings. So the 450 is the easy to look at the dumpling, but I'm like, it's ahead of its time. We're gonna look back and be like, Kanye was a revolutionary in terms of like his designs and silhouettes, or his
And let's not forget that he originally started with the other company.
did, and he brought
Or
that
switching teams.
flair to them, but he wanted more control, and they didn't want to give it to him, so they lost.
Yeah.
They made a mistake by not keeping him. But yeah,
Yeah.
one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Kanye
Yeah.
definitely had all he said. He said all I needed was the infrastructure, and he's
Yeah. Did you see his first shoe went for what was that? 1.8 million?
1.3 million or something like that.
I think it was 1.8 million.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That
but that's
yeah.
let me ask you this: as a woman, what would you like to see more from Adidas, or what do you think, or if you feel like you're getting enough, what should they continue to keep doing to keep the woman consumer like interested and engaged?
Yeah. I think Adidas has really done a good job of hitting the athleisure movement like on the mark. Like a lot of their shoes are, in my opinion, more of that athleisure look versus the performance. And we've talked about that today even, but just having like a casual shoe that you can throw on easily that goes with your leggings, your joggers, your biker shorts, like they with everything from the NMDs to the Yeezys, like they're nice, comfy athleisure shoes. So I think that's something to keep up with. I personally don't have as many Adidas as I do the other brand as well. But I think they are doing a good job of having like nice collaborations with people like Beyonce, Pharrell.
Even
So I
like I like the Pusha T sneakers. If you don't know what Pusha T is a rapper from Virginia, 2 up, 2 down. But his shoes are fire. They're just so fire. Like I don't know. Like they do a good job. And then
Yeah.
Mark Jones is sponsored by Adidas. He has an Adidas contract.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think they're doing a good job. Like, I don't necessarily feel like they're missing the mark with a lot of stuff. I think we all have kind of like our little preference, you know, checks over stripes, I guess. Not
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I can appreciate both.
I can appreciate, I'm definitely more so getting to that point. I was not always that way. But I will say that I think there's some areas where they can improve upon. But I think that's with anybody. That's
Yeah.
with the other brand and every other brand besides that. I think they can do a lot more to get closer to filling that gap. But I don't know if they really can because for every one shoe Adidas comes out with that's like super fire and everybody wants, the other brand is doing that like 5 times a day. They're like
Yeah.
a day that are coming out, or 3 to 4 a day, or like Adidas might have like one every other week, and Nike, I mean the other brand, excuse me, beep up, will have 17 in a week. Like, and that's no exaggeration. That's only ones we see on like the releases. So I just think they come out with so much stuff that it's hard to go against them. Like that's one of the things is I can go to a third world country and see the other brand. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if I necessarily say that about Adidas. So yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. And Adidas really doesn't have that like phenomenon athlete the way that the other brand did in terms of Jordans. Like is there anything that compares to that
Uh,
within a
I would say it has to be Kanye. That's their closest. But in terms of athlete, the
but
athlete I would say that they had was Kobe, James Harden, Tracy McGrady, and then their football players, they don't really market. Like they have Aaron Rodgers as one of their athletes. But like Aaron Rodgers, they're not marketing Aaron Rodgers sneakers. Adrian
yeah.
Peterson is one of their guys. They don't market his sneakers, but he doesn't come out with a sneaker.
Yeah.
Um, to answer your question, let me think. The biggest athlete I would say to be with them had to be Kobe Bryant. And we know we talked
Until he left.
about now currently it's James Harden and Damian Lillard.
Yeah. Which is cool. And that's like them making strides, but there's nothing that you can ever compare to the classic Jordan and what it meant for sneaker culture.
So I'm gonna say something real quick before we head out because we gotta wrap up. But does everybody know about the story about how Michael Jordan, and do you know the story about how Michael Jordan ended up with Nike?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Because he wanted to be with Adidas, right?
long
Like
story
really
short,
badly.
Michael Jordan he didn't want to take the meeting with Nike. He did not
Yeah.
want to take that meeting. Michael Jordan's agent calls his mom, tells his mom, hey, I want Michael to take this meeting with Nike. Michael Jordan's mom tells him to take the meeting with Nike. And there we have it. Michael signs with the other brand. Sorry, I've said it already. But signs with the other brand. But he wanted to be with Adidas. Coming out of college, he's like, I want to sign with Adidas. So
that's what was hot at the time.
So we could have had a shift. Like we could be talking about something way different if Michael signs with Adidas, which would have been crazy. Like, and I saw this, and if you do yourself a favor, I think I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna upload it on Kicks of the Trade Instagram. Check us out. But I'm gonna put it up there. They did a mock-up of what it would look like if Michael Jordan actually went with Adidas, and they made all the Jordans in Adidas. And I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty fire. They were pretty.
Yeah, you gotta show that.
Yes, I'm gonna look at that article, tag the person, give them credit, but I'm gonna put it up there because I think it's worth people to see.
Oh yeah, because what a crazy thought. You know, like that's the direction that he wanted to go in, and I think he wasn't feeling it really with the other brand at first. But man, what a crazy thought if that went the other way.
I know.
Yeah.
That's it for us today. What is it? Subscribe, like, comment. Check us out. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us. kicksofthetrade.podcast. Follow me on Instagram. C_hollows, HOLLOWS, or follow us at Kicks of the Trade. dot podcast. I already said that. I meant to say House of Trade. I was at houseoftradeinc.com. Kels?
You got some good, do you have some good Adidas inventory up?
We do got some good. We actually got a lot of Adidas inventory up on House of Trade, so go check it out. We actually have a lot. One of my guys, he uploaded a lot of stuff, so go check it out. It's not in the super huge sizes either.
No, House of Trade. It's a good spot to go to get some unique footwear, especially. But yes, guys, give us a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for us, please, if you like any of this content. Make sure you leave us some reviews. We love to hear your feedback and what you want to hear. I am Kelsey Cristiano, one of the hosts, as always, without an H. Cristiano, Cristiano, like Cristiano Ronaldo. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Peace.